All right, we live Tuesday, the midday inspiration. We're on number 6 of acquiring your goals and dreams. Commitment to be the best. Commitment to be the best. Commitment to be the best. All right, so if you look at the world now, um, we on this world wide web. So when you look at great or doing great or being great, that's good now because there's so much competition out here, and good is average. So you have to commit to do more than even being great, uh, if you want to even be good. I know you probably saying, "What do you mean by that?" Well, I mean when you have competition now that can that can um, that can reach your neighbor, and that person is in Switzerland somewhere, and because they're online and they selling a particular object, or they selling a service or something. Before it wasn't like that. Before the World Wide Web and all the technology, you didn't have that. You pretty much had competition with your within your city or within your state and things of that sort. But since this thing is open up now to where everybody can participate, and you got a lot of different competitors out here now, you have to start looking at yourself and saying, am I really doing what I'm supposed to do? Am I really getting better at my at the thing that I'm doing? Am I getting better at whatever I'm doing? If it's, whatever you're doing, you got to get better at it. You got to get better at it because um, if not, acquiring the goals and dreams that you want, it could be a challenge. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have experienced that so far because if you're out here now, and good afternoon, Miss Coleman. If you're out here now in this market, you know that. And so that means that you have to double down and triple down on everything that you're trying to learn, and everything that you're doing, you have to start getting better at. You can't just cruise with it. This is if you want to acquire your goals and dreams, the things that you want out of life. You just can't. Um, and the big question would be, and I ask this question all the time for the last, I would say, 20 years, and people would like freeze up on this question, and it's like they wouldn't give an answer. And so, to acquire whatever you want, what are you willing to sacrifice? I mean, what are you willing to give up? Because sacrifice means you got to give up something that, not something that, you had to give up something that you really like doing, or, you know, it's got to be something that's going to hurt you. It can't be, you know, I remember watching, what was the guy, the track star from Jamaica, uh, can't think of his name right now, tall guy, sprinter, it's 10 years ago maybe. And he talked about that before the Olympics. Um, he decided a year before the Olympics that he and his girlfriend had to break up. And he told her that his focus was going to be on the Olympics. And now that was a huge sacrifice. Now I got a partner of mine always joke saying that he wanted to get rid of her anyway. So he used that as excuse. But let's just say that's not excuse. Let's say he loved this lady, but he knew that he had to give up something. Either keep her, give up the Olympics and winning in the Olympics, or give up her and win the gold medal that he had been thinking about all his life. And I know, you got probably most people like, well, Tony, that's really a reach there. I mean, that's not, nobody does anything like that. Nobody sacrificed like that. Well, that's not true. It's people in the history of times that has sacrificed, you know, family, sacrifice the wife, sacrifice a lot of things to get what they want. Now, is that right or wrong? I can't say. But what I'm saying to you is you're going to have to sacrifice something uh, to get where you want to get to. Glad you're here, Mr. Wells. I mean, we all talk that sacrifice stuff, but do we really do it? Like I said, for the last 20 years, I've always asked people, what are you willing to sacrifice? And they get the he and the ha, and and because see, again, sacrifice is something that will hurt you, that will cause you some pain, that you have to sacrifice that. Goes back to the sacrificial lamb. It's like, I remember talking to a couple of ladies one time. This is about 10, 12 years ago. And they had started a business, and we was talking about, stuff that they need to sacrifice. Well, we was talking about, what are you going to sacrifice? Because, I was their mentor at the time. And the things that they brought up, man, was just hilarious to me. And I had to tell them too, because a lot of times people say they want to hear the truth, but they don't want to hear the truth. But it was some hilarious stuff that they said they would give up. And it's not like, because I asked them, I said, okay, let's just use this for example. And I don't know if you are or not. Let's just say you're part of a Greek organization, and one of y'all AKAs, another Delta, and during the week, you are, hosting things for your organization, and you are, the president of your local organization, and you got commitments with them on Wednesday nights and Saturday mornings and things of that sort. You got to get that up. Oh, no, I can work around that. I mean, working around it is not a sacrifice. And it also shows how bad you want a particular thing. I mean, we talk that talk, but how bad do you really want it? Shut the TV off for a month, 2 months, 3 months. Now, to most people in the United States, that's a hell of a sacrifice. They can't turn that TV off. They can't turn it off. They can't shut it off. And if you're trying to win, people say, well, I still can accomplish my goals and watch TV too. Maybe you can. But if you're trying to be, as we say, better than great now, because you understand great is pretty much, good, and good is average. If you're trying to be better than great and you working on a particular project, you better find something or some things that you're going to sacrifice. I mean, your organization will always be there. Your television will always be there. But the goals that you're striving for and the dreams that you want in life that you say you want, you say you've been dreaming about these things. Man, I always wanted to do this. And you said you got goals. But then, and here's the thing. I don't have a problem with the person saying, well, Tony, I'm not really willing to give up those things. Just say it then. Don't act like that's what you want to do. Don't pretend that that's what you're going to do. I mean, I'm talking to you as if I was your mentor, because I'm not really your mentor. I'm going through this, one of my favorite PowerPoint trainings, which is acquiring your goals and dreams. And I'm talking to you as if I was your mentor, as if you were asking me for advice, as if you were saying you my leader. And by me doing that, good afternoon, Miss Brown. By me doing that, I would tell you straight up that most of the time you're not willing to sacrifice nothing. You're not, we say those things, and I'm like, it's best to just come out and say that you're not going to sacrifice than to say that you are and then don't do it, or think you faking it. You know, he thinks I'm not, and I'm again, it's not my look, I'm not your mentor. I'm just saying, if you were paying me to coach you, if you were paying me to give you advice, and you were paying me to do certain things, and you ask me for that, and I tell you the truth, and then you lie and just say you're gonna do it, and then don't do it, and thinking that I'm stupid or your mentor is stupid. I mean, your actions show, or non-action that shows too. So I just believe a lot of people really don't want the things they say they want, because your actions will tell if you want it. That means you're willing to do a lot of things that most people are not willing to do. You gotta be able to say, okay, is this what I need to do, and this what I need to sacrifice? Then I'm gonna do it. Because a lot of times what people call themselves sacrificing is not even a sacrifice. It's just something that they say they're not going. I'm not going to watch. I don't even know TV shows out here. I'm not going to watch this show for a week. that's the thing about when we say what we really want and the price that we're going to really pay for it. So what causes success? What causes failure is what you do daily. The things that you do are the things that you don't do on a daily basis consistently. And this is I always say, when I'm talking to you, I'm talking to me too. So, a lot of times I'm beating myself up because I know that I probably should be putting more into it and sacrificing more. But I sacrifice a lot all the time in everything that I do. And that's why I can say that to people, that, I've seen this thing over, 25 years, uh, watching people, watching what they say, no, listening to what they say and watching what they do. Listening to what they say and watching what they do. Because really, uh, it's really not what you say, it's what you do. As one of my favorite songs say, the watcher. The watcher. Mm. Um, so back to the top of this, because of competition, great is good now and good is average. Now remember, this is number 6 of Now let me do a quick recap. So let me back this thing up for a second, and then I'm just going to run through it. Now, each slide we spent 30, 40 minutes on. So I'm not going to do that now. I'm just going to go back and read and do a quick recap for those who have forgotten about this thing and how we started off, which was the first thing is that you have to have a burning desire. And you must be dissatisfied with what you're doing or dissatisfied with your actions and frustrated. Those things, if those things you don't have that part, you can't be, comfortable and want something. You must make yourself do what other people are not willing to do. And one of the biggest things is that you need to make sure you understand that you want a pleasing result. Now, the pleasing result doesn't mean that the process and the methods will be pleasing. The methods will probably not be pleasing. The methods was probably, if you look at athletes, take football players, a lot of times the coaches, they got them running and running after practice and running. The methods, a lot of people give, the practice over with. No, let's keep running. See, people want the pleasing methods. And that's not what's going to get the pleasing results. Usually the methods are not pleasing. Like if you're sick and, somebody says this medicine here or this particular product here will help you get better, and you taste it and it's awful and it smells awful. That's a process that successful people say, okay, I'll drink it. I'll close my nose. I'll do it because I want the pleasing results. Most people don't do that. Most people want the pleasing methods and they want the pleasing taste and they want, to run, half a mile after practice instead of 5 miles. It doesn't work like that. You have to have the goal should be pleasing results. All right. So we also talked about you have to see it. Put your vision board up, sleep it, create a vision in your mind, create that hologram in your mind to where you're seeing it all day and you thinking about it, which is number 2 of reaching those goals and dreams. Then number 3 was the environment. We talked about that you got to separate from the pack, from all your friends and people who are not going your way. They're not trying to strive. They don't want anything out of life. And you hanging with them, you got to separate. And when you separate, loneliness kick in. That's just a part of it. Leaders always go through that process. That's just how it is. And also you got to, read books and make books your friends. Now, I'm not audios also. If you just have a problem where you just can't read a book, which is sad because I remember how you remember back in the days to say that if a black person got caught reading, they could be killed. Hey, if a white person got taught teaching a black person how to read, they would be killed about reading. And so now it's so bad for us to read. We don't want to read anything. Okay. Listen to the audio. You can listen to the audios on your phone now. You can listen to audios anywhere. Get the audio book. Get the info. Just get the info. All right. 4, you got to fall in love with your goals and dreams. We talked about that. Learn to love what you do. If you don't learn to love it, it will be very hard for you to win. All right. 5, we talked about believing in yourself, your goals, and your business. We went over that last week in detail. And all these videos are still out on YouTube. So, and today, we just talked about commit to be the best. Commit to be the best. Commit to be the best. You know what? We got one more slide. Let's go and wrap that up today, which is Focus, no distractions. We just talked about that. Kind of turn the TV off. Social media is a problem too. See, these two things here takes most people time right here. Now, if you got a business and you have to be on social media to market your business, that's a different story. But if you just out there playing around on social media and just you got to cut that off. You got to shut that off. And the TV, man, I tell you, people will lie so much about that. I remember this young lady that I was mentoring, and when I first met her, she always had her little son with her. And so I've been knowing her now like 12, 13 years, maybe longer. So I've watched the son grow up. Um, and really at that time, I want to say he had to be, when I first met her, he was in the car seat in the back because he couldn't sit in the front. That's how small he was. And that's how young he was. But she always brought him to trainings and all kind of stuff that we did. She always brought him there. So I watched him grow up. I became kind of like his play uncle. I used to always tell him that. And so I would call the house sometimes and he would just answer her phone. And so me and him would talk. What's so crazy is that he just graduated from Morehouse this year, and he just moved to Phoenix, Arizona, 4 or 5 days ago to work with his corporation where he's starting his own business, and they're gonna fund it. But he watched us go through, different business trainings as he was growing up. But my point is, one night he picked up the phone when I called, and I asked what his mother was doing. Now, he didn't know he was snitching on her. She back there watching TV. I said, she doing what? I said, now I'm thinking, I didn't say this to him. We had just went over her goals, her sacrifices that she was gonna make, and she said she was gonna shut that TV off. Oh my God. When he told on her like that, after that, I made him my best friend. And I didn't even tell her. I did not even tell her. So whenever I needed some insight, I would make sure I talked to him. He was the in-house snitch. He was in-house snitch and she didn't even know it. To this day, he always been my in-house snitch. But it goes back to how people will sit there and tell you stuff. But most people are they're addicted to it. You see people always got it on in the house, so you say, I gotta have some background noise. Well, that's the wrong kind of background noise because that's picking up everywhere. And I know it's hard for y'all, and I'm not telling any of y'all to do it because I'm not your mentor and you're not asking me for advice. I'm just going through these slides and talking to you guys. I'm not, that's not what I'm saying. Um, but what I am saying is that if you have some goals and you have some dreams that you want to accomplish, see, I don't want to mess up your name. Is it Yisrael? Yisrael? Is that it? Great day. And please don't don't shoot me for it. Don't stone me. Don't stone me. I think Yisrael. No, Yisrael. That's it. That's it. That's it. I know that's it, right? Yisrael. But yeah, so we're gonna end this dreams and goals PowerPoint. And probably Thursday I have another one, but we've been going on with this one for about what, 7 weeks now? No, if we've been doing it twice a week, so about 3 weeks. I would say. Yeah, third week. So we wrapping it up. And again, all these videos are saved on YouTube under, My Wealth Lounge. So you go out there and you can, pull them up and watch them. All right. So that's it for today. That's all she wrote. The pen and the pencil broke. All she wrote, pen and pencil broke. So for some of you guys, who get up in the mornings, tomorrow morning is Wednesday. I got a challenge with tomorrow morning because I got to pick somebody up at the airport at 6:30. No, at 7, which means they won't get to the gate to 7:45, and I know I can't be back home by that time. So we can either do a little bit later. Anybody? Well, we only got few to proud, the Marines that will. I mean, the few to proud, the 5%ers that's going to be on there. So we can either make that day up, or I can, try to do it at 9:30 tomorrow, because I definitely got to be at the airport at that time, and I know how crazy that could be, and then getting back because I'm gonna be going into traffic coming back into Atlanta. So so I'm assuming we just make that day up because nobody responded. So we'll just don't look for me tomorrow in the morning. But we will be back here on Thursday, same time, same bat station, with a new PowerPoint. I got so many of these things out here that, so look out for that. All right. Thank you all. And we about to end the stream. Y'all have a fantastic